You guys tune in, isn't it? Come on, be honest. You just watch my show. You just turn it on, stick the earbuds in your ears, and then you don't have to listen to what your wife's talking about. Yeah. It's all right. I'll take that. Okay, there you are. I don't know if this is going to be where I need it or not. I had a little incident, and I didn't have any painter's tape to fix this with, but I did have some duct tape, so you know it's probably not going to last. No, and I don't know what I was doing, but this happened, so I fixed it. You know, that's good. I don't drop it in any water or anything, I'll be okay. Here's what we're doing. We're going to take this old radiator, which is pretty much done for now. Turn it around here. I'm going to cut this out right here where this is at. That's the rod goes back to the firewall, and I'm going to see just what we can do with that. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Probably a mistake, but you know what, we're in too deep to stop now. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess that's it. That was painful, very painful. Okay, well, that's going to leave a mark. Whoop. Save that. All right, there it is. Now I'm hoping, where are you at here? I'm hoping I can make some kind of brackety thing out of this. Fit it up in there. So I'll let you know how it turned out. Okay, well, I'm pretty satisfied with today's progress. We got this hanger for the radiator put in. We got the Model T radiator fill port? Nah, ain't right. You know what I'm pointing at here. We got that on there. We got the overflow tube on there. Somehow we're gonna do something with this. Not real sure yet, but something. Yeah. So there we go. That's a good day's work. I'm gonna go in the house and sit down. Once we get all the mounting done to where everything, I'm satisfied with it all, then it's just a matter, yeah, listen to me, of going from here to here, which, you know, this is this and this is this, and you got to fill that in, and from there over to the water pump. That's probably going to be the easier of the two. Not now, because I said so, but you know. Yeah. get the water pump on, get a different belt. We'll fire it up and see how she does. Alright. Alright, well, we're back out here the next day on the big radiator project. This is how far we got yesterday. We got that done. Got the overflow in it. I think what we're going to do today, the very first thing, is make up some hardwood blocks for this. We're going to get all this bolted in the way it's going to be, and then we'll attack the top of it there, that rod that holds it from going this way or that way. That way I've got all the heights and stuff all nailed down. Alright. Okay. I made up some blocks. I can't see anything here. There. Made up some blocks and drilled some holes in them. Got 4 of them. And we'll see if out of these 4 I've got 2 the same thickness. That'd be great. We'll start getting this buttoned up down here. I better get the lock washers and stuff on there, huh? Yeah, you don't need to see me put lock washers on. Okay, well, I got these blocks down in here. I ended up just using 1 on each side to get it to where I wanted to. You know, she's on there. I put the hood on temporary just so I could make sure I hadn't changed the line here. And it seems to be okay. Things, you know, we're not going to say perfect, but I think going down the road you won't be able to tell. Yeah. So I'll have to fill in here with something. I don't know. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, that's for sure. I just want it to work. We can worry about the aesthetics of it later. So now I need to do something. I need to figure out what I'm going to do about this rod that goes from front to back here. So, yeah. That ought to be fun. At least I got this much done. And it's solid. And I even was able to, let me zoom you in here a little bit. No, I can't see that one very good. Come on, come on. Can't see that one at all. Well, you can kind of see it. Right. Where's my finger? Right there's a piece of the original hardware for the radiator hold down. I was able to use that, and it is still spring loaded, so that strap that goes down there underneath the radiator, that strap I made to bolt the radiator to, that's still on springs now out here, so it can flex around a little bit. So yeah, we shall see about that. All right, I got to figure out this rod. All right, now I haven't been doing a lot of filming because it's been a little, you know, a little detailed and intense and whatnot, but let me back up here first. All right, I made these brass, oh, what do you want to call them? Straps. They go around the lip of this upper tank. This is pretty heavy duty stuff. Here, I'll show you. See, they got a hook on the end of them. They go up there like that. I'm going to drill a hole in each one and put a bolt through there for tightening. Comes over here, and wherever the hell my finger's at, there we go. Goes right there. So what that's going to do is, that's going to give me something to lock onto this radiator with. Then I'm hoping to modify this off the other radiator to hook onto those somehow. Then I can put my rod in here, and that'll give me my support at the top. Yeah, and I made those out of some old brass I had laying around here. Took longer to strip out the strips than it did to actually make the brackets, or the straps. But that's going to work, I think. If it doesn't, you'll never see this, so that should give you confidence. Okay, I got the bolts in them. Nuts, I'll have to do something to make sure those don't come loose. That tightens that up good. Now I've got a basis for mounting the thing that holds the rod. That'll clamp onto that good, and I think that's going to work. I just think so. I hope so. If this doesn't work, we're dealing with a couple $100 loss here, so it has to work. All right, let's see, where are we at here? I think I've got as far as I'm going to get today. Now I'm going to show you this. No judging. No. I did the best I could with what I had to work with. It's not finished, but this is what we've got. I put brass spacers in between here, and then there's a bolt. I flattened that head on that bolt some with a grinder. I'm going to put a little piece of rubber in behind that, and I got to get me some longer bolts to cinch these up, but that is the basic idea, if you can imagine it without the vice grips on it. And then obviously we've got an issue here. We've got some airspace here. It shouldn't be there. We'll lengthen this. I think that's going to be alright, isn't it? Isn't that going to work? For just using what you got laying around. I definitely don't think that radiator is going to get used again. But, yeah. So I'll get some longer bolts and all that jazz, and we shall see what we shall see. But I think this kind of captive system here that I've rigged up will be the easiest on the radiator. And we're not soldering anything to it or bolting anything to it. I'm gonna take that out before something gets wrecked. Yeah. And of course on the bottom we're bolted down just like it would be in a Ford tractor, so that's not an issue. Up here was the hardest part to figure out. So yeah, I think it'll work. Alright, I gotta relax. Okay, well, good morning. I came out here bright and early, and I was thinking about this bracing rod from here back to the firewall, and I tried the hood on a couple of times, and boy, if you don't have this set just right, it's just not going to work. So I decided to make up this adjustable deal here. We're brazed on here in this piece of tube, brazed a nut on the end here, a little bit of threaded rod. All the purists will have to forgive me. I don't know if they had threaded rod in 1926 or not. Maybe. We'll say so. Anyways, I can adjust this in and out, which will give me fore and aft. And boy, that's pretty dang good. Yeah. I got this all put on here yesterday. It all needs paint, and I got a rubber up in there on each side, rubber washer, to keep it from chafing the radiator. So yeah, so far so good. Now we've got to figure out how to attach this to here and fill these sides in so this isn't, you know, doesn't do this when you go down the road. I guess I could put a pin in the hood and that would hold it, but I don't know, I'm kind of opposed to that. We'll see. So we got to get the water pump on there and start figuring out all this stuff up here. I hate dealing with these hoses and adapting them. It always goes sideways whenever you do it. But yeah, so we got, I'll take that out of there, this and that. So now you can see how we're doing here. We're pretty close to the radiator there. I think we'll suck through some air. So there we go. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Hope so. All right. Well, probably remember I showed you this, my big purchase at Swap Meet for holding gas cans and suitcases and whatnot onto the running board. So I thought today we'd just do something nice and easy because it's a nice day and I'm tired. We're just going to clean this up a little bit. Maybe put a little boiled linseed oil on it. Mount it on the car. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Looks like she's bent a little right there, too. I don't know. Yeah. Must have hooked it on a fence post or something, I suppose. There we go. That looks better. This one needs to come out a little bit. That's better. This one's in good shape. We're getting into some nice weather here. Let's see, what is today? May something. I don't want to do anything that's going to keep the car from being drivable right now, because we got some car shows coming up. I'd like to get to a couple of them at least, take you guys along, and what's this coming? Oh, semi. Like to take you guys along to see some. I got a couple other spots I'd like to go and show you some stuff. But, I don't know how consistent my videos are going to be this summer, but we'll try to keep them coming for you guys. You've been so good to the channel, but sometimes I just get tired and I just don't feel like sitting and editing for 10 hours straight or something like that for a week or two, you know, take some time off. But I frankly don't know how the other guys do it. Scott up there at Cold War Motors, every week he's got, you know, an hour going on. I'm just not that interesting, so, you know, I don't have as much to work with as he does. But I know how disappointed I would be if I turned it on at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon and there wasn't anything. So, you know, I try to keep it going here. All right, these things need to be something. They need to be cleaned up here a little bit. Just got most of the heavy duty rust off, flaky rust. I don't want to take the paint off, what's left of it. Let's just get a wee bit of, oop, too much. Wee bit of oil through here. That's one. Pretty exciting, huh? What'd you do today, Frank? Oh, sat in my chair and watched some guy oil stuff for 2 solid hours. That's why you guys tune in, isn't it? Come on, be honest. You just watch my show. You just turn it on, stick the earbuds in your ears, and then you don't have to listen to what your wife's talking about. Yeah. It's alright. I'll take that. Come on, come on. You can do it. Okay. Now, I really don't think that it's necessary to oil this, is it? All those little things. I mean, it's not sitting there doing this. Just set it and forget it. This is the original set it and forget it accessory for your Model T. I think we're just going to call that good. We'll put the lid back on this before I have to run out and buy another quart. I knocked it over. And stretch this out. Let me get rid of this stuff. It's just in the way. This is going to make this a little sticky to handle for a while, but I'd rather put it on now than later. I have no reason. I just want to. Going to the tractor store later, so I keep looking at the house to see if my wife's ready to go. When my wife says I'm ready to go, yeah, I got another 20 minutes. Okay, bald linseed oil. Here we go. Man, that's way too much. A little bit of this goes a long ways. I hear a train in the distance. Alright, let's see if we missed any spots here. We're just trying to get the excess off of it now. It doesn't have to be soaked in it, it just has to be a film of it on there. Anybody that knows what I'm doing here, you already know all that crap. I'm not breaking any new ground here, I can tell you that. Okay, now, in case you're new to boiled linseed oil, I feel like I should say this, although, you know, nothing I like better than a good fire. But you really should take these out and lay them in the driveway, and then you don't have to worry about it. Or hang them over a fence post or something. Or throw them in a can of water, but you know, do something with them. Don't leave them stacked this high, you know, with a weight on them, and then shut all the doors on the shed and see if you can get it up to about 120 in there. Yeah, you're gonna have some trouble. Like that needs a coat of oil on its own. I need something to kneel on. That's my last clean pair of pants. Okay. I'm going to do this one first. I don't know, what do I need here? I only need that much to step on. Just tighten those up until it cracks the wood in half and then back it off a quarter turn. I don't know what the torque spec is on that. I'll have to call Shopcat and see what he's got in his book. All right. How's that look? That's my signal. She's ready to go. There it is. What do you think, huh? All right, gotta go to the farm store. Hi there. My name's Randall. I'm the host of Shed by the Tracks, a YouTube program that is seen around the world by tens of people every week. I've been asked to come here and talk to you about a danger that may be lurking in your home that you're not aware of. Every day, many of my fellow Americans tune into their favorite Canadian car show, not knowing the risk to their mental health. I'm talking about shows like that famous Canadian car hoarder and marijuana enthusiast up there at Cold War Motors. Or it could be that guy from Saskatchewan, you know, the cat trainer and part-time arsonist up there at Carter's Freestyling. I think that's right. Or maybe it's even that young upstart shop cat. You know, he's the guy that knows the torque specs for everything. Yeah, boy, that's useful information, you know, if any of us ever bought a torque wrench. Now, if anyone you know or care about watches any of these shows, they are in danger of becoming Canadian. All right, don't panic. Here are the 5 danger signs that your loved one is becoming Canadian. Number 1, an increased use of the metric system. The use of kilos and meters is just a slippery slope to full-blown communism. Number 2, hockey ticket stubs hidden in the trash. That's a deception that is to be taken seriously, but not as life-ending as finding soccer tickets. Number 3, maple syrup on the breath. Before 10 a.m., that's okay. After 10 a.m., I believe you have a problem. Number 4, referring to speed limits as clicks or a case of beer as a 2-4. Using Canadian slang in polite company is disturbing. Number 5, and the most dangerous, an overwhelming need to apologize for everything. Now, although there is no cure, there is hope. With intensive psychological therapy and high voltage shock treatments, it is possible that you could live out a semi-normal, though be it completely unrewarding life as a sad bastard here in the States. Remember, friends don't let friends watch Canadian YouTube car channels. Thank you for your time. Cheers. What? Well, what'd I say? Oh, man. I'm making these. These are going to go along the sides of the radiator to hold it to the shell. I just can't see anything. It's been a frustrating day, so the camera has been off. But I've got 2 of them made, and I thought, you know, maybe you'd like to see me heat metal and bend it. You know, that's what you tune in for, isn't it? So yeah. probably going to put some music with this because, you know, I tend to lose my patience when I'm doing this and consistently make them too long. Well, that's my problem, not yours. To say, it's a brace, it's a piece of bent metal, not too exciting. Hoping it'll be a lot more exciting on the car. I must have got something done today. Looks like a tornado came through here. But yeah, I got these brackets made. One there and one there, which ties the shell to the radiator. And then over here, I got these two on there. So, yeah, there's that. I'll have to figure out what I'm doing here. That can wait. That can wait until a test drive and I get things ironed out. That's just cosmetic. I'm not going to worry about that too damn much. But yeah, this is solid now. And once the hood is down on this and strapped down, that'll be solid too. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Man, what a deal. What a diddly dang deal. My hand's shaking. That means it's time to go in the house. Wash your hands, sit down, do nothing. Tomorrow, or the next day, we put the water pump on and start thinking about this, these water lines. I think once the pump's on, the lines are hooked up, we'll give it a shot. We'll find out. So, Don't try this at home, kids. No. But, you know, it depends on just how far you're willing to go to save 800 bucks. Seeing as I don't have 800 bucks, I'm willing to go pretty far. Holy cow. I've got stuff laying everywhere. Well, here's where we left off yesterday. We're on here. What I want to try to do this morning quick is start mocking up this water pump. And I got to start taking some measurements here on this deal and trying to figure it out. But yeah, I think we'll be just fine there. I think. I hope.
Yes, I did.
Okay, well, we've got the... Let me change how this light is working here. I've got the water pump on. Had to make a couple pieces for it, but other than that, I think she's cherry. Got it full of grease, got some packing in the end. Got no idea how much you're supposed to use. I guess if it leaks, it's not enough, and if it doesn't leak, it's the right amount. So we got that. Yeah. Now I've got to get a belt on here. So what I've done is I've cut a perfectly good belt that was on there in half, and I found another one here. And what we're going to do, of course the tripod is in the house, you know, where it belongs when you're making videos. What I'm going to do is nail these two together here. At least that's the plan. Well, you guys can see this coming, can't you? Trust me, there's a method to my madness here. Okay, we got that in together. I'm not going to try to use this on the car. If you're all sitting there holding your breath thinking, he's not going to put that on the car, is he? No, this is just for measurements, okay? So we'll go over here and we'll kind of adjust some stuff and see where we need to be with this. Okay, I'll attempt to show you what I got going on here. You can see you probably can't see nothing. I taped the two ends together and I've got it all routed through everywhere it's got to go. So we need a belt about that size. So I got to take that to the farm store and see if I can find something. At least I'm hoping. Then we got to do the piping, then we're ready to put some water in it and find out that it just overheats constantly. I hope not. God, I hope not.